Doing it live. Hold on a second. Comment show on stream. Okay. Click the comment to show it on screen. All right. How do I share the link? People. Copy invite link. There we go. Share this link. See? There's that. I share that. Try again. If I star it, what happens there? So the title of this stream was Attacking Your Weaknesses. And one of those weaknesses is being completely inept with technology. Hold on a second. I'm going to remove that. Add that. There we go. It's a little better. More like this. Now. Like this. Do you want to see more of my face or less of my face? I'm going to go with less of my face. More of the artwork. I started this Cyberfrog when I was on Liam Gray's stream. I need to actually post that I am streaming. Here we go. What's happening? Stream. Come hang out. And we'll see what happens. I ought to have some music too, right? Do I actually still have any of that is the question. Music. No. I had a bunch of non-copyright music downloaded that YouTube was authorized. Guess I got rid of that, didn't I? Yeah. Oh well. I'll just be talking. Hopefully somebody wants to swing by. We'll see. I'm going to get my reference up here because I decided I needed to put Cyberfrog in Philly, and the weakness I'm attacking today is this: is drawing buildings, because it's one of those essential things for a comic book artist that I can't do too well. Let me arrange my screens here. One of the things is with Google Earth, though, some of these buildings look different depending on the angle you're looking at. So hopefully they look all right. 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. So I'm showing the 4 there. Putting it there. That means just make sure I'm on the right layer. This. I think I'll need to draw buildings from reference at least like 5 or 6 times before I'm able to like put on the gas. You know, when I'm drawing anatomy and when I'm drawing superheroes and stuff like that, a lot of times, because I've done it, more than once, I can just hit the pedal. Yeah, each of these things. Here, let me show. Can I not present more than one screen? Can I not like have them overlapping with one another? Whatever. I was going to show you the Google Maps. You try to zoom in on like, you don't get the detailed architecture, I should say. So, but I'm not going to sit here and Google what the building actually looks like so I can draw it here. Or should I? Do I need to do that? I'm going to guess at what these things are. I'm just going to give them a little shape because they're going to be that big. That's the other thing I got to keep in mind. Instead of zooming in and trying to put the little faces on the gargoyles, just make the blurry shape that you see on the Google Map thing. In fact, I shouldn't even zoom in too far on this. I should just keep it like this. This is Artist Thoughts with Will Studios. It looks like there's like a decorative thing coming up. And connecting these things. Is that what it is? I don't want to have to do 3 layers. I don't want to have to do it where I like draw it a little more detailed and then a little more detailed and on, and it never gets done. This was supposed to be a quick distraction from my comic book. Ooh, I got a viewer. Look at that. Say hi. Or click the link. Who knows? But yeah, try not to get too detailed. Whatever the hell these things are. Are they supposed to be like people holding hands or something? I don't know. But buildings are important. Buildings, they're just not fun. This is the not fun part of drawing comic books. I did the fun part. I feel like my Cyber Frog looks cool. I need to do some more rendering on his toes and stuff. Maybe redraw that foot or something. So it's not so like head on, whatever. It's already drawn. I was going to go over his shoulder bits again, like his the reflections in his shoulders, but honestly, I don't hate what they look like right now. And I've already kind of chosen not to be like a super polished, guy. At least, not yet. Not until I have the hours to do that. See how quickly I can just add these shapes in. And don't stress about too much here. I feel like if I do a good job on this building, like these front two buildings, then the background, like I can just leave as the black and white lines that they are. Because I feel like they look good enough. If I do more to these buildings, and if I figure out the angle for this roof, because this roof slopes, and it's going to have like long tiles on it. But I might have to take a more extreme angle to make that look right. Let's see. I'll accept it for now. Work more on that later. If the one person watching has anything they want to talk to me about, they can post a comment. I hope I can actually see comments. So comment. Oh well. I wonder if that one viewer was me when I popped in for a second. And I really am just still alone. Stroke the mustache for good luck. Nobody wants to watch a draw stream. But if I'm streaming, that's all I'm doing. Because the comic book needs to get made. That's like the number one thing. And I like that I've been able to go on a few streams here and there. People have been letting me on their shows, which is great. But you know, the work needs to get done too. I almost made a video before I decided to just go live about not trying to draw when you're drinking. Because I had started drawing a little bit on page 6 last night. Last night I got home from the bar and I jumped on Omer Glitch's channel and started talking about my comic book. Don Draws stuff was there, who I recognized from the internet. And I just wasn't happy with what I drew, basically, because I started working on page 6 here, and I was drawing this guy, and he looks more relaxed now, but his shoulders were like all uptight. I had drawn him like cracked out. He looked bad. He looked terrible. And I apologize for anyone who decides to watch this later, because like until someone starts talking to me, I'll just ramble. But they look like heads. Like I'm looking at the Google Maps and it looks like they're supposed to be like heads or something, like holding hands. I gotta make sure I put some shadow in there. Although honestly, since this photo was during the daytime, maybe think a little more about the shadows before I drop them in. Who knows? I'm not sure it's all that important for this picture. That's that part. So that actually needs to be bigger. Oh, was that supposed to be there? No, it was not. All right. Yeah, it looks like I kind of messed up. Well, maybe I didn't. Maybe I was just thinking about it wrong, because I need to add another head over here, I guess. I'm like looking at the windows and how I had them laid out is not exactly how they need to be. This line can come all the way down. Let me clean up the blacks. Clean up the blacks from that other layer. Back to 16. Clean up these blacks off the thigh over there. And this line can come all the way down now. But yeah, it'd be really embarrassing if like I'm going on streams, I'm like talking about making comic books and everything like that, and then my buildings look like shit. That's kind of like the last thing I want to be the case. One trick to drawing with a tablet that I've decided is to not zoom in too much. Is to actually, there's 4 squares here. Because you zoom in too much, you get lost. And you want to make things as detailed as possible. It was on the channel where I started this picture with Liam and him and what was his name? He was like some kind of demon guy. Like he had an avatar. I could not see his face. But he seemed pretty cool. I'd recognize him if I saw him again. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Subjugate is here. What is happening? I'm just drawing this Cyberfrog that I had started. I'm trying to do these buildings instead of ignoring them and never finishing the artwork. So that'll be good if I can actually accomplish that. But I'm looking at Google Maps. I got the advice a long time ago to always use references with buildings. And I never took it because I'm like, you just stack boxes up, how hard could it be? And I watched some tutorials, whatever. But we're doing the reference thing today because I decided that Cyberfrog should be over Philly, Thank you. Hey, Scribe. Hail CG. That feels weird to say out loud. I used to play EverQuest back in the day, and you'd start quests by hailing people. Hail. I got to practice my hail so I can say it out loud. Hail. Hail, Scribe Comics. I'll just be Lion-O when I do it. Hail, Subjugates. I should just be Lion-O on stream. I, Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats. I'm drawing Cyberfrog so that I can get Ethan Van Sciver's attention. And he can come around and say, attaboy. Attaboy, Will Studios. You might really make it, kid. I'm 40. But I'm the youngest man alive. The link is at the top of the chat if anybody wanted to lend their voice. Up to you. I'm making this sort of an open panel thing. Notice me, puppy. Notice me, please. Some people say that like it's an insult or something, but like when you're a self-taught artist who's just like, really wants to make a comic book, it is kind of like that. It is kind of like, notice me, please. No shame. There's no shame in that. Now, I'm only going to draw a couple of these windows because then I'm just going to clone the hell out of them all over the building. But I'll give the important parts of the building fresh lines, you know. That way, at first glance, people won't see the digital trickery. There you go. Should it just be dead air for the 10 minutes until he hops on? And then he doesn't hop on? I think I realized watching Liam's stream too is that you can hear the children in the background. How do I... I'm just going to mute myself for a moment. All right, and they're happy again. At least on Liam's stream, it was like the laughter of children in the background, you know? I really got to trim this stash. Got to clean it up. Got to wax it before I start these streams. I should probably actually comb my hair and stuff too. I come on looking like a hobo every time. It's because I don't pay much attention to that. I think I'm handsome regardless, frankly. You know, you really, when you have this noble bone structure, it's kind of impossible to look bad. When it comes to the windows, because I don't want to make the whole thing black, right? Or do I? Stick with it. 9. My dog wants to play. He's over there staring at me. Dad, we could be playing right now in the yard and you're behind your tablet. What are you, a nerd? Why does a nerd own me? I'm a freaking hunting machine. Tough luck, Crispin. Thank you. What, playing with your dog? So somewhere, if there was like an actual artist watching this, he'd be probably shouting at his screen, you know, just working a couple more complex, just working a little more shape, and you might have it. You know what I mean? It might not look so horrible. Do I need to redo those things, though? I'm going to redo them. F it. You know, if I'm questioning it, then I do. And here's what I'm going to do. Instead of doing all this, okay? And I forgive myself because I've been talking. Let's go in here. Let's decide. I was making it kind of like a head shape. right? So I'm only going to do this twice and then clone brush it. But first I'll start with a rectangle. And we'll really put the effort in here. Okay? Make that little triangle shape. There was a story about a kid who, like, he was pretty good at this game. Well, like, you know, he was okay at the game. Now, I'll pick a different story. There was a story about this kid who, like, never touched this game, right? Of Go. And he was inhabited by, like, the spirit of this old master of this game who, like, had to watch him and, like, you know, you're supposed to teach him. I don't know. Sometimes I think, like, you know, if that happened to me and they're just like, you know, doing this, watching me fuck up every piece of artwork that I do. Hail, Ghost of Palomino. Hail, hail, Ghost of Palomino. I should get some sort of notification if somebody wants to join, right? That's good. Probably. All right, so this can now come up like that. And this part comes like that, I've decided. I just got to erase those extra lines there. But actually, shoot, made this come down too far. All right. Time to use technology the way it was meant to be used. I'm in the back. All right. There you is.
Hey.
What is up? I can hear you.
What is up, dude?
Drawing
Nice
building.
seeing you. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, man. No, this will be the first live stream I've ever had a guest on.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started doing a show with my buddy on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
He knows nothing about Comicsgate, so I've been slowly trying to get him into it. He's kind of a lefty, so it's
okay.
He kind of hates everything about Comicsgate, but I'm winning him over.
There's plenty to hate, you know.
There is. But there's so much there's so many good artists in this space that it's there's a lot to look at, that's for sure.
No, I found it in 2023. And I don't know how many times I've repeated this when you were around, but so I stopped reading American comic books back in like 2012, 2013. I remember the last thing that I read was in Brightest Day when they brought Swamp Thing back to life with the White Lanterns, right?
Yeah.
Because like Rebirth was incredible all through high school. I have a crazy comic book collection, like from back through the 80s and 90s and stuff like that I've acquired over the years. A couple of estate sales are great for that.
Yeah.
But anywho, I got it in my head like, man, I really need to get back on my artwork and make a comic book because I've always wanted to do it. It's one of those things I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I wasn't around for like any of Comicsgate until like I was watching the not the Friday Night Tights, the stream, because I was not a live stream guy.
Yeah.
But their channels, because I wasn't watching any of that Marvel stuff. I just watched the reviews about She-Hulk and, you know, woke this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then Eric July started the Rippaverse. And there was so much optimism, you know,
yep. Tell me
at
about
that
it,
time. Because I feel like everybody was on the same page where these movies suck. We need better stories. Like I got so motivated to write my scripts after the Game of Thrones ended because it was so freaking horrible. Nothing motivates a writer to write something like a terrible story, you know? And I'd been seeing it, you know, for ages. I had a podcast back in 2008 making fun of movies and stuff like that, but there was no money in it, and I stopped doing it eventually after like 2 or 3 years. But yeah, Rippaverse starting up, $5 million.
Yeah,
you know, and that lit a fire under me, and I'm like, I need to get back into making my because it's like I started making comic books, but like I didn't like any of them, and I wasn't very good at like, you know, I'm a talented guy, but I had no miles under the pencil, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that was the story of my life for a while. And then I started teaching myself how to code because I'm like, I'll just make a spicy video game, you know what I mean? And those things definitely make money. So I was working out those types of stories, and you know, I got really good at drawing boobs, and then
heavy metal style,
right? Heavy metal style stuff, and then so then the Eric July stuff happened, and I read ISOM, and I'm like, Jesus fucking
this
Christ,
shit's terrible. Like, yeah,
because I was thinking, man, that he's gonna write a great story. I'm gonna write, you know, I'm gonna make my thing. I thought it was gonna be one of these, like, you know, that the movement was just gonna blow up.
When I bought Ice, when I bought ISOM 1 and 2 at the same time when ISOM 2 came out.
Oh yeah,
and man, I thought the Ethan Van Sciver cover was gonna be like worth thousands of dollars in the future or something like that. Just like, man, this is an investment, and then it's like, no, it's then I read it and I was like, fuck, this ain't going nowhere.
Because I feel like, you know, you've been watching Trashcast, yeah?
Oh yeah. I've been hovering around the spear since like 2018. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the Dokuman cards were like peak trash cast when they read those
Dude,
things
those are
out loud.
awesome.
They're so hilarious. Because it's like you have this, what's supposed to be an omnipresent being that's going to give you the information on the Rippaverse.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't know anymore than the dumb news anchors that are announcing inside the comic book. Like he doesn't know anything about anybody.
He knows as much as like the person reading the story, and it's like,
right.
Are you? Yeah, those were. I almost want to get those just for the lulz.
Yeah. Just take them out sometimes when you're doubting yourself.
Get base art department to make some metal versions of them.
Oh yeah, there you go. So what are you working on, man? Are you drawing or anything? You doing anything?
So I don't. Yeah, I am definitely not an artist. All I do, basically, just a writer.
Okay.
And it's I don't know. I thought about trying to draw. Like you gotta start somewhere, but
definitely.
Then I keep getting into the ideas. Like I'm 34. It's like, do I start trying to expand my stick figures at 34?
Yeah, maybe not.
Do I just try to hone in on the writing?
I know for me, like I was kind of like a prodigy early on. Like I won an arts contest in first grade, believe it or not, peak of my career. But I was working at a restaurant, right? I was at this brewery in Virginia, and they had a chalkboard where, we had this many beers on tap. These are the beers, right?
Yeah.
And one of this girls, Candace, she was an okay artist. Okay. She was going to like cosmetology school or whatever, but she could do a little cartooning. She could draw The Simpsons,
Yeah.
So she was doing it. And I'm, one day I'm just like, I could do that. Like I could do that, and I started like pressing management about it. Cause you get like $100 for, drawing the thing. So it's not like she didn't want to do it. Cause that's like, $600 throughout, however, as the beers rotate, and a free cheeseburger. So, I can't, and eventually I was just the guy. Cause I was drawing these like, I did a Sonic the Hedgehog theme for one of the beers because I was thinking about them like movie posters.
Yeah.
So one of them, I literally drew like the Balrog with like my own kind of like knight instead of Gandalf and stuff because of this beer was the one fending off the Balrog in this thing.
Yeah.
But I'm doing that, and that was like, man, I need to get back into this. Like, why did I ever stop? Why did I ever stop drawing?
Yeah, my brother's a really good artist. I don't know why he's kind of the one that got me into comics because he used to read like the old Alien and Predator, like the Kelly Jones stuff. And
oh yeah, I got some of those.
Yeah, those are like all the Dark Horses, all the stuff that I read when I was a kid. Like being way too young to read that stuff. Like I didn't even really get into superheroes that much just because it was like I almost saw the superhero stuff as like fairly kiddish compared to reading Aliens and all that stuff. But yeah, he's probably like he's a huge inspiration for just like my art style and stuff that I like. H.R. Geiger style stuff.
Oh yeah. No, that stuff is great. I wish I had the time and patience to do that sort of thing. Like, part of my art style is just based around not having patience for myself. I'm just like, it's almost like sometimes I compare it to Calvin and Hobbes in my head because it's just not super duper polished. But
I don't know, man. Your work looks pretty good to me. There's that one piece you were showing to Liam on that stream, or like the cybernetic hand, or that cyborg. Yeah. Dude, that was sweet. That was a fucking really good piece there.
That was so I'll bring that up real quick and do more story time because
not to distract you from your art.
No, you're good. The weed makes me distractible.
Same here, man.
But yeah, I took a long time on this, and this was
that's sick.
So 3 years ago, I was at a point where I'm like, what the hell does my art look like? Because I would draw, it's like my artwork would look one way, one drawing, and another way, another drawing, you know, because I'm moving fast and I'm doing things very sketchy, you know. But the final line work always like eluded me. I'm like, what the hell does it look like? So that's where, can I actually take the colors away from this thing? So that's where I was really trying to get patient with, you know,
dude, that's so fucking sick.
Everything, and I tried to make each part of this look like different, and it was so cool. Like when I went to Baltimore, and John Mallon pulled up my book, and he's like, I like that cybernetic hand, you know, which is great. But then again, you look at the rest of it, and it's like, do I know how to draw a bus or not? You know, what is this? Is that a Lego? I mean, man, does that bus exist in Legoland?
That hand is so good though. It's like, you don't like.
Yeah,
I get it. You want to know how to draw a bus, obviously, but it's like,
is this a bus stop? Where's the panels? You know, what's going on? What's happening with all of this? Is she hot or not? I can't tell. She's pretty hot, I think.
I'd say so.
I think she looks all right.
There you go.
I really stressed about, and this is the first and only thing I've ever attempted to color.
Not bad for a first go at it. That's for sure.
Not too bad.
I wouldn't expect that the first go.
Too much softening, like too much air, because I'm like trying to airbrush it and stuff like that. Yeah. When I really should just be doing like a two-tone. That's another thing. That Baltimore was a great trip for me, because I met Robert Romano as well. And he's the one that's like, dude, just high contrast, black and white, you know, no smudges. Like it should look good with just clean lines. And I'm like, you know, because my first pages, I'm sitting there trying to like do gray tones and stuff, and it's just not working out. But yeah, that whole I think it's still on my profile somewhere. If somebody like digs through my socials, they can find the link to the Imgur file of the 10 pages of, you know, horrible lettering. Because that's the other part of it, is I cobbled together this preview comic for release, which I'd been working on forever, but I saved the lettering for last, and I didn't have a good font. And so I was using this like standard font that came with Procreate, and my bubbles were all over the place. So that was like the biggest part of my, you know, I knew it looked like shit. And so I spent all night redoing the letters until they only looked like, until I at least got an F, you know?
Yeah.
At least 55% on this quiz, on this lettering quiz that I gave myself. So,
my one goal with my comic is if by the end of it, I can at least be the one doing the lettering. I feel like that's somewhat of an accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like lettering is fairly personal when it comes to a comic, but you kind of just don't want the same old font everyone else uses ever.
True. The more I do it, the more I appreciate it. Because I obviously didn't respect it enough to really research and practice it before that first preview comic. But I'm here. I like the boom that I did down here, where it's like I'm drawing each letter. You know,
that's cool.
Putting that like kinetic energy into it. And I'd like to do more of that whenever I find opportunities. I've seen some of the lettering advice that Ethan gives on Trashcast, and everyone uses Eric Weathers, but who was it? John said, he told me a book that I should have wrote down.
Yeah, I was thinking of going with Eric Weathers for mine whenever I get to that stage, but again, it's like it's almost like everyone in Comicsgate's using him now, so it's
right.
But he does really good, like he does really good work though.
Mm-hmm.
If I can afford Kyle Ritter for a cover too, that'd be sick.
Oh, right. It was cool getting some offers from people to color my work too. Just like putting myself out there. Like Based Art Department wanted to color something for me.
Yeah.
So I sent him a page a day ago. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he does it. Cause
when I get to the stage when it's like I want to try to actually get a colorist going, I want to try to find like someone up and coming in Comicsgate, not like an already established person, right? It'd be nice to build up newer people as being a newer person myself. So,
and then this one, was it Texan? Scotsman TV.
Scotsman, yeah.
Offered to color this one when I was done with it. So once I put more effort into these front two buildings, I can leave the background buildings. I'll just put like a little touch up here and there on those things and leave them mostly just lines, and then we'll see what he does with them. Maybe he'll fix my windows. Because I'm sitting here trying to imagine
called Paul Bird for his book Ominous.
I'll
check him out. Oh, Ghost of Palomino. I was just saying Elliot used a guy called
Paul
Bird for his
Okay.
Yeah, I'll check that guy out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry, not to.
No, you're good. I'll ramble.
Oh man, ramble away. Fucking ramble away. Yeah, what's your I know you went over your kind of what your story is about with Liam there, but like what's kind of get another little rundown of it.
Why not? So and I'm like, where should I start?
So, do that anytime anyone asks me, it's the same thing.
Right. I'm like, where do I begin with this tale? So the story starts with a paladin who is acting as sort of a marshal for his order, trying to collect a stolen weapon that is cursed to send anyone it kills into the army of the dead. So the weapon is connected to a demon, and so if you're slain by this sword, you're conscripted into the army. You become a thrall. You gain how should I put this? Forbidden wisdom. I've never said this part out loud, but there is a reason that they're going along with the plan to kill people. So they are shown a vision of the other side that convinces them that every soul must be returned.
Okay.
And that is their mission. And so now now it's a war. This is the beginning of the war. The first issue is the first battle. And I'll come up with a name for this town.
Do that.
By the time I finish page 10, my elevator pitch will be perfect. But so 12 hours ago, 18 guards were killed and several prominent individuals in this outpost, one of the 2 medium-sized outposts in the new continent that has been discovered on this planet. And being devoured by the rats. Every animal here is going to be like a more metal, more extreme version of what we have, in real life. So there's going to be bears that are bigger than houses, when they're fully grown. These rats are extremely intelligent. One of the main, the pretty much main human character, he starts as a boy working at this bar, which is one of the only spots open that has people in it at this hour, when the paladin rolls through and has questions about how did those people die, and have you seen this man, and are you guys ready to fight for your lives? So luckily this mercenary group, which was on its way towards the frontier to help hunt and kill these beasts and clear forests for the burgeoning timber, economy.
Yeah.
I don't want to bog people down with the world building of, the economy and how this all works, but I got to slip it in, finding
me,
ways
like
to slip it in.
Bog me down with it is I love world building. I love lore.
Yeah,
I love
right?
all the type of stuff you're talking about is like all what I'm into.
I need to make some, I have 4 different maps that are more kind of the same, kind of different. But anyway.
Yeah.
So he gets there right as the dead are starting to rise. With the rats. The original scene that I had in my head for this really had him dramatically pulling rats out of his body.
Yeah.
But I abandoned that for, sake of brevity, getting to the point of the story. Maybe I'll add another page after this. Maybe I'll when I go to print or something, I'll have an extra page between that one and this one with him silhouette again, and then them really starting to wake up between this scene and then this one where they're all starting to gain consciousness and wander around.
That's fucking cool, man.
Thank you. But then he tells the story of how they found out about this curse. 7 weapons were crafted from this unique ore that was found on this continent and given away as gifts to nobility. Well, one of them used his sword to execute a slave, and you can see they're having a party about it, as they do. And the slave woke up before he could be burned or, cremated, I should say.
Yeah.
So he was eventually subdued, and they figured out how to kill it, figured out how to lift the curse, studied him, confiscated all those blades. The person who used the weapon started having visions from this demon, and kind of goes a little crazy. Other people hear about these stories, and one of them, who's kind of my evil Jamie Lannister character in this story, he's going to figure out he's going to steal one of these blades, and he's the one that we're chasing, right? He's the one that our paladin is trying to find and get that weapon back. So everyone has to cover their blades in oil and pitch because fire needs to reach their heart. We need to stab them with fire in order for the curse to be lifted.
That'll create some cool visuals, eh?
Yeah, right? And then we can have escalation of the technology too, because the thralls are going to be wearing armor eventually. This first group isn't, but
then they'd figure out how to
that's issue 2 and 3 and so end of issue 1 when they're really getting organized, and it's gonna be really cool. So yeah, he's like, you boy, drop those torches. Everyone's oiling up their swords. Here, let me
that's cool, man.
Zombies are waking up. This will be where I got to make a 7-fingered hand because I decided there were 7 blades instead of 5, and that way the demon's hand, because they're reforging his body basically with these things.
Yeah.
Where was I?
Is there some Berserk inspiration in there?
Huh?
There's some Berserk inspiration in there. I get very Berserk vibes. Yeah, I was gonna say I get very Berserk vibes from this.
Yeah, no, Berserk was a big give less detail to the buildings in the back. The further away, the less detail is best. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Palomino for the other one, and I'm trying to, you can see they get messier the further you get back. I'm trying to just give the impression of there being a church-like structure. I'm trying to because I have no idea. Liam gave me a bunch of great advice with the printing, and I'm sure I'll get plenty more advice as time goes on. But I've just been kind of holding up a comic book to my iPad and being like, okay, that'll be about how big it is. That'll be kind of like what it looks like when it's printed, right? So that's fun. I'll be finishing up the preview comic by February, it looks like. Finishing the preview by February, and then I'll be able to get a sign-up page going and get it lettered.
Nice. Plan on launching campaign this year then?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, man.
Absolutely. Because then I can run the closeout. I'm averaging about a page a week as far as production goes.
Yeah.
And so 35, let's just say I'll put it like 30 weeks out from when I finally get the sign up page, because then I'll be like 10, 11 pages deep into the story.
Yeah.
And so hypothetically, by the closeout, at that point, I'll have most of the artwork just about done.
Done, yeah.
It'll be, whether it's based art department, or I get someone else to color it, or if I decide to just do black and white at first, unless I set coloring as a funding goal of some kind, who knows. We'll be on pace, and I won't pull a Rob Hunter on anybody.
Well, you definitely got a backer here, man. I'm definitely picking up one of those.
Thank you.
That shit looks sweet. Yeah, I'm still in the stages of trying to lock in an artist.
Yeah,
I've got one person I might have. I'm waiting to get back page 2 right now.
Okay,
but we'll see how it goes. I burned a bunch of money just like testing out artists, and like I got a bunch of like good concept work and like stuff that I can use, but like nothing I can actually use like for the comic book or whatever.
What's your comic about?
So fuck that again. Like, where do I
start? Time to iron the elevator pitch.
Pretty much, eh? So it's basically like, the world of Subjugates is set like 300 years in the future after humans sent a satellite, or like a test satellite into the magnetic highway, which I don't know if you know what that is, like the space in between the galaxies.
Yeah.
And so they basically sent out a signal of like what Earth's like location and fucking the life forms and all that shit's on it. It was supposed to just be like a test signal, but the magnetic highway like
amplified it somehow.
Basically, somehow amplified it and like kept the signal going. So Earth basically has got invaded by like tons of different alien races that used it for all different types of shit, to like stage war, experiment, fucking terraform. And then throughout all that chaos, one race was able to turn humans into like augmented humans. And then they basically started carving back part of their society, but it's like, hold on, it's super.
So where does the story pick up? Like page 1? At what stage are we at?
So page 1 is basically kind of like the first 5 pages are kind of like just the storytelling process to get you towards the story. Basically the 300 years to get to the story. Yeah. And then the story itself is about a former elite augmented human who basically like discovered, how do I put this? He discovered something that he shouldn't have. And he's now basically being hunted by the entire system that he helped build. Okay. So I've got like tons of different alien races. There's also still a one section of like non-augmented humans left. and they were able to build their civilization in like a downed alien space cruiser that still has like its defense stuff's like activated,
like super dimensional fortress Macross sort of deal.
so sort of they're basically like they're able to stay safe in there essentially.
Yeah.
And yeah, the story is gonna follow, so it follows Zed, the one augmented human, and then he's got like his kind of like band of merry men, and then the issue 3, so issue 1, 2, and 3 are kind of like his arc, and then issue 3, 4, and 5 it switches over to a the human perspective.
Okay.
Like what the humans are doing, and like their ship I call the Cradle, so it's like the Cradle perspective of what's going on with subjugates. So then, yeah, issue 3 or 4, 5, and 6 follow them for their story to kind of wind back into the main story.
Mm-hmm.
So like issue 7, then the stories will kind of be like intertwined again, and they'll be following the same kind of storyline. But then I'm also going to have it so like the Cradle will also break off into its own like mini series.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still see like what the humans are up to and all that type of shit.
So this is a story that's kind of told from multiple perspectives.
To an extent, just at the beginning, I guess, you've got the 2 perspectives that merge into one.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there on, the story kind of just continues off in a straight line. But then it like, as my story continues, I have ideas for like branching off miniseries. Like basically like every like new race they hit or whatever, that race will then have their own miniseries. Or
you see the possibilities.
Yeah. I've got I got something called Slag Stage, which is basically like an augmented version of WWE, but also a gladiator ring. So like they basically fight for like glory, but at the same time they can also kill each other.
Nice.
So it's
well, where's the glory in not killing?
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I've got 200 pages of lore and fucking stuff. It's just a matter of getting that onto visual pages now.
Well, and how to get the reader to like vibe with it, to to stick with it and do it, because and
it's all got to be done through like visual storytelling too, right? Like
I
can't just info dump. Everything's got to be done with storytelling.
Because it's Warhammer 40K is the one where people were like, dude, you can do either one or the other. You can either play the game or you can get into the lore, because it's going to take up all your time one way or the other.
That's what I'm aiming for, man. Like I'm aiming for something that people can like not only get lost in, but I've created almost a system like with the augmented humans. Like if you like for a storytelling perspective, like if you wanted to make a story about an augmented human, I've already kind of created the framework of like what creates an augmented human. Because like they've got their like once they go in and they get augmented, they go through like this emotional imprint, which is like the last emotion they're feeling now becomes their new baseline emotion for their new personality.
Okay.
So like you can basically write a story about a human who's like always wanted to be like strong and powerful, but like they're always weak, and then they finally like became augmented, and because they had that emotion in them, they became a
and that comes from like a counseling session ahead of time before they sit in the chair or something.
No.
Are they doing like self-affirmations in the mirror before they get augmented?
It's way darker than that. I'm like, it's hard to explain it without fucking visuals, but like,
right.
Let's see, because
they get locked into like a Matrix style like clamp that like
sort of like
juices your brain up.
I haven't really figured out the exact system that it happens. Like all the augmented human person knows is they go into the building is called the Rapture.
Yeah.
So they go into the Rapture, and then they basically all they remember is going in and then walking out.
Yeah.
But then they walk out basically like they feel like they're a new person.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the ability to essentially augment their body to however they want to for the society that they're in.
Yeah. But there's no shadowy like politician or general being like, give him a little extra for me. You know what I mean? Like,
so that's where
make him loyal to me.
That's where the whole Zed defecting story comes into play, as he basically finds out something along those lines. There's a whole like system that the guy is actually trying to the main guy, the main villain's name's Jax. He's basically trying to sort of merge all the minds into one, and so that he can control them.
There you go.
But yeah, it's there's I've put way too much world building, I think, into this than needed, but
well, it's like, now that when you have the world built, then it's just the challenge of, who lives in it.
Basically, right? Like, that's the nice
who
thing.
Who is my audience going to latch onto?
Yeah. And I've also and with the whole being able to branch off with because some people don't like the whole augmented human stuff. Mm-hmm. So they could essentially just want to just read the Cradle, just the human related things, or they'll just be just alien related things if people want to see just aliens. And then if you just want to watch gore and violence, you can watch read the Slag Stage comics. They'll just be nonstop action, kind of oh dude, why am I blanking? Inglorious Rex? There you go.
Oh yeah. That one's fun. One of the things with Comicsgate, I see it as sort of a battle of IPs in a way for who's who's the top Comicsgate guy. So Shane Davis is up there, Ethan Van Sciver is Cyberfrog, and he's branching out, doing Helephant looks cool.
Yeah.
This and
the Helephant's sweet. Yeah, I want to pick that up.
Yeah, that's actually that. And I mean, I thought Fearsome looked pretty cool, but I haven't seen anything new about it in a while.
Was there something going on with that? I'm not sure. I think he did.
I know they at least made some sort of preview thing, some sort of half issue about it, I think. Because I think that's what yeah, I don't know if they've had an official issue 1 of Fearsome yet, but that was a cool concept. And just the look of it was awesome. And then John Mallon's got Godlike, which looks awesome, but I need to read it. I ordered 1 and 2. I haven't got them yet.
Godlike. I wasn't paying attention much to that one. What was that one about?
That one, from what I've gathered, it takes place across time, and it follows this person who's he's either immortal or he's continuously reborn. I said, I haven't read it.
Yeah.
So parts of it happen in a steampunk era, and then parts of it happen in a 10,000 years into the future, where it's a Conan the Barbarian meets New Gods sort of storyline, right?
Oh yeah.
That's
I see the Conan
looks
vibes
awesome,
from that,
right? Because he's got the that witch character with the huge knockers with
yeah.
So yeah, very should be delivering around May this year, if I'm not wrong. That'd be cool. Would you consider digital or overseas backers like me? I'm absolutely going to be doing digital. Because I'm really cheap. So that's mostly what I buy, but obviously the printed edition is going to be where you make the money. And that's where, because I know John Mallon does the opposite, where he does a narrow funding window, and then once it's over, right?
Yeah.
So they become collectible, a bit more collectible, and also if you're curious about the story, you have to pay $30.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be plenty of people like me who's can I just pay $7? He's going to be no, you pay $30. You pay $30 if you want to read Godlike.
I had the thought of I was wondering if you could do because for my comic, I was wondering $5 for the first half of the comic digital.
Okay.
Because then you get, I don't even know if that would work, but because then you at least have the person gets the story to kind of get the idea if they want to purchase the comic.
And that's why I'm going to do I'm going to put out the first 10 pages, the preview comic is going to be for free digital, but you can only get the lettered version of it if you sign up through my website, right? So you're basically you're trading your email, and you're showing me that you intend, that you at least think it's cool enough to give me
You're
a little
interested.
information, say I intend to buy this, right?
Well, that's much better.
And you know, it's like texting a girl. You know, you gotta like ease into it. You don't want to scare anybody off. You know.
Let's think, because if you know, if you got the email, if you at least get the email, if they don't get the first book, there's a chance they might, you know, once that the second book email hits them, they're like, oh, maybe I should pick up both of them now, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah, that's a much better idea.
Then it's like, okay, so how expensive should I make the digital copy? Maybe I can make the digital copy like $15, and so then it's still going to be half the price of getting, because if it's like $20 to $25 plus $8 shipping or $10 shipping for the physical copy, you're still saving a ton of money if you do $15 digital, right?
Yeah.
Rather than the $5, and then I'm making more money, and I can quit my job faster, which is ultimately the goal.
Oh yeah. How many pages are you planning on doing
for the first issue? The way I have the battle planned out, and I have like a few different scenes that could be the ending of the first issue. I'm thinking, like, am I going to end it with the kid? I think I should definitely end it with you see the Jaime Lannister character, the guy who stole the sword, and you see him getting ready to kill like 6 more dudes, you know, because he's growing an army, and you know, he's going to be able to, the more he kills and the more he gets visions from this demon, the more powerful he's going to become, and eventually he's going to be just like a dude who never sleeps and is super freaking strong, and you know, he's going to be a great final boss. I'm going to grow him, you know, he's going to be strong initially, you know, just like a really talented swordsman who's also a psychopath. And then he's going to become like, you know, a real threat towards the end. He's going to be like my Sauron, you know, and then Melkor is, you know, in the background, you know, pulling strings and trying to make his way back onto this plane of existence, for the final battle. It's going to be great.
Do you have like a like how much of your story is like kind of planned out already?
I know. So the thing is, it changes all the time, right? So I have like a bunch of possibilities. I have some interactions that I come up with that I really like. I have like scripted out, you know, and I'm like, this could be this character, this could be this character. And so I have the first issue pretty tightly scripted. The second issue is where it starts to sort of, you know, get a little more like, we could go this direction, we could go this direction. I know what I want to happen in terms of how the war progresses. But, you know, how exactly, you know, that won't, the final script won't really take shape until I'm in the storyboarding part of it. Because that's where I'm like, am I hitting beats with the reader? Is something cool happening on each page, or at least every other page? If I, you know, keep it interesting, keep it flowing, keep stuff happening, and then finish it on a hook, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of the nice thing, like with my world, it's basically like the story is kind of just unraveling itself after the world's been built. Like, it's just a matter of what would these characters do in this situation, and what's the most likely thing that would happen in the situation type thing. So it's,
and I'm like, okay,
part's been fun.
This city's gonna fall. Who's going to escape? How do they do it? You know?
Yeah.
Can they have a moment before that happens? Like, I'm not going to, I'll spoil a little bit, you know? So the first issue, right? I already showed you the page where the paladin's like, you boy, drop those torches, go. He's basically like, get everybody down here. Like anyone who's still in this town that can fight, tell them what I just told you, raise the alarms, that sort of thing. We have to go right now while these things are waking up, because that's our best chance to kill them. Okay. The longer we wait, the more conscious these things are. He's not going to be that wordy about it, but he's a lot more brief with his instructions and the way he delivers messages than I am. But he knows that we got to move now. We don't have time to go back to your rooms and grab your armor. Okay. Grab the swords, cover them in pitch and oil, follow me, grab some torches. We're moving. Kid, go find somebody. So he's going to go. There's a guy in the town that was able to fight off my Jaime Lannister character when he first killed those 18 people. Because we're going to have a flashback to like that day where he comes into town initially and kills who he came for, and then a string of guards on his way out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's going to be like my Chad of the Village character, who puts up a fight and kind of forces him to flee. And that's one of the things that this kid goes and gets this guy. And it's going to be clear that he's like a hero to this kid, know? So he's going to be instrumental in repelling this invasion, because the initial wave of humans that go down there are not going to do very well. And there's going to be more villagers with swords, people with armor. They're going to get their act together and be able to push these zombies out at high cost to themselves. But I'm like, okay, so should the Chad live? And that's where I'm at that's one of the threads at the end of this first chapter that could go either way. Does the paladin live? Right now I'm leaning yes, but I have some possibilities when I'm actually drawing the pages where I'm like, should I kill him though? Should I kill Obi-Wan in the first issue?
Go full Transformers,
right?
It's hard, man, because like if it's the best thing for the story, then it's the best thing for the story. But if it also writes you into a hole where you can't continue your
I got to have a branch to grab onto, right?
Yeah.
If I'm monkeying between things, because it's like if he is going to be the mentor that dies, and that can happen whenever. I feel like I should have kind of like a Jedi Padawan relationship between my paladin character and the rat boy. His job is to kill rats, by the way. He's going to have stories about when he first arrived to this continent and had this job with his uncle that runs this bar, and he gives him this giant cat to help him hunt these rats. And so he's you remember where the red fern grows, the school they made you read in middle school, the book they made you read in middle school about the kid with the hunting dogs?
Didn't read that one.
That wasn't part of your curriculum?
Nope, not up in Canada here.
Okay. I was in Virginia at that time. So
let's see where the red fern grows.
Where the red fern grows.
Where the red fern grows. Let's see here.
It's a story about
a story.
Yeah, it's a kid. It's about a kid who gets these dogs, learns how to take care of them, but it's like in the American, Appalachian country where, if you're a 12-year-old boy with a dog, take your BB gun, go hunt squirrels. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm creating my own dark fantasy version of where the red fern grows as this kid's backstory, where he has to kill rats in this, place. And he's doing dirty work for his uncle. But in the process, he gets so fast and so strong, and he gets so good at swinging the club. And that transfers, he's going to have his moments where he's learning how to swing a sword now. That's going to be a lot of fun to write.
Yeah, I think you get to do your little parallels to the
right,
your story to that story
because
kind
the
of thing.
cat's gonna follow him too. And I got this cat is as big as a dog is in this world, right?
Yeah.
And very loyal.
Yeah, it's funny. My story, like, it started like 5 years ago. It's just like, what happens if humans domesticated dogs? And that was literally like that was that was the idea. That was just the whole idea, and it somehow led to like augmented humans, and then I just completely abandoned the whole dog idea. And then yeah, now I'm in this post-apocalyptic, weird, dark sci-fi realm, I guess.
Nice. That's not a bad place to be.
Nope.
Not bad at all. That was one of the because so my story released, the one with the cyborg in it, right?
Yeah.
That is the prequel to the first story I wrote, where it was going to be far future post-apocalyptic world, right? And you're going to follow the survivors, and it's like a new civil war brewing with the city-state factions that grew in the United States, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so the main character of that story is kind of like a wandering samurai. He has one of the only really good weapons, because metalworking technology is, degraded such. Most people's swords break or, whatever. They don't look good. But he comes from one of the city states that recently fell that actually had some technology. Like they were Iron Age at the very least. But anywho, I started writing the story of how the world ended and how it got that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, that's actually the story I need to, this is more of a cool superhero story. There's a lot going on here. And so then I started writing. And so now it's like, okay, there's release. I'm going to write release, right? I'm going to get it made. And then I'm going to start another story, like maybe even before it ends, right? And I'm not going to tell anybody that they have anything to do with one another, right?
Yep. I got the same
realize it. Yeah, you're going to realize it when the main character of that story picks up a weapon and you recognize it from the climax of release. And you're like, don't move that sword. But then that's
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be great because then the villain from release is gonna awaken in this world that he should have been awake for the whole time. He should be the god of this world, but his plans were ruined in the past by our heroes, right? And he was basically put to sleep. He can never be killed. And he becomes this wandering shell of his former self, and then slowly gains power again because it's like the solar cells in his body are slowly rejuvenating after having lying dormant for so long, but that's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, dude, that's not. The worst part about it is just how long it takes to get these ideas on.
Yeah, this is 10 years away at least.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm basically on issue. I've started writing issue 8, and it's like issue 7 is probably like 10 years away, 11 years away, right? So it's like, I don't know. It's hard, but at the same time, it's nice to be prepared for if you ever do run into that circumstance where it's like, hey, now I can just crank out 10 issues. Look at that.
Right. If I get an artist to work with me, and then I'm not doing 100% of the work.
Yeah, that's probably really hard. Being the artist too is trying to find somebody who can match like kind of the same style and vibe that you yourself go for.
Yeah. But hopefully I'd be able to find someone better than me.
Yeah, true, right? Yeah, I guess that's the goal, is trying to.
Yeah, someone who actually went to art school. Although I
Yeah,
feel
for
like
me, I
I'm
got to
better than
just
a lot
like,
of the people I know. A lot of the people I know who went to art school, I feel like I'm actually better than them.
well, yeah, because you probably spent all the time they were in art school actually just drawing things that you like.
Yeah,
So, whereas they were, who
stressing out
knows?
about midterms and trying to paint.
Yeah, yeah, learn things that they'll never actually use in an art setting.
Mm-hmm. Nowadays, it's learn how to prompt. That's going to be the new class.
Yep. Yeah, man, that's. I think around we're gonna have this weird phase of just a lot of AI stuff. I think, but then the human touch will be an acquired thing that
Yeah,
I think people will pay extra for.
people are going to want human created stuff
Yeah.
just because they know it's human.
Yeah, you're already seeing it. You already see it in like YouTube comment sections. People being like, "Hey, there's no AI in this video. I'm subbing to this guy. I don't even know. I don't even like this content."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But then it's like it feels inevitable at the same time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like 90% of the actual raw content on the internet is going to be AI, and then there's going to be, you'll seek out the humans.
Yeah. But it sucks. It's also going to probably just halt future creativity.
Yeah. I'm gonna be 55 years old looking at it like nobody draws.
Yeah, no.
Nobody knows how to move
in the AI
anymore. My heroes were better than I was, and their heroes were better than they were, and here we are now.
Yeah. Yeah. Societal improvement isn't a thing anymore, it doesn't seem like.
It's over. You got to rob the system for everything you can, okay? Before it fully collapses.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't.
Hopefully, man. I'm hoping we have have you ever heard of Ashton Forbes?
That sounds very familiar.
He makes a big deal out of the MH370, the plane that disappeared, the Malaysian Airlines flight that disappeared like back in 2014. And everything about its disappearance just doesn't add up. They never found the plane. They found like a small piece of debris in Africa. And they're like, how exactly did it even get there? Shouldn't we be able to find the plane just by looking at the ocean currents from where this debris piece showed up? But we can't. Why is that? What's going on? And so there were these videos that were released. And I forget how they were leaked, right? But they were leaked videos. There were two videos side by side that show this plane. One's a thermal vision, and then one is black and white. They're taken from spy drones, right?
Yeah.
And during his, citizen journalism investigation of this whole incident, he found out that that's actually a top secret thing called Gorgon Stare. That's the name of the program that very classified. It was only very recently reached a point where it was like kind of declassified or whatever, and people could talk about it. But that's what this video was, where you have the two separate videos. So you have it from two slightly different angles, right? These three orbs come out of nowhere, right? And blink the plane out of existence. And people are like, that's fake. That's immediately like, well, that's obviously fake because we can't teleport things.
Yeah.
Teleportation is fake, therefore these videos are fake. You cannot convince me that there's wormholes, right? Then these guys, the Corridor crew, who I've only ever seen them do this video. I don't know if they're actually good at debunking things or not.
So I watch those guys almost religiously.
Yeah.
They are great VFX artists, but when it comes to like, I don't know, they think all conspiracies are just like a joke. And
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's, their take on this is the one that gets brought about by everyone who looks at this. It's like, Ashton, you're crazy. This is not real. You know what I mean? They'll bring up the Corridor crew assessment. as evidence that, and he's like, look, there's all this evidence for this being real. Okay.
Yeah.
The way that the flash happens with these clouds, those are obviously 3D objects. They were not taken from 2D things. The technology that you would have had to use to fabricate these videos didn't really exist in 2014 unless you had a ton of freaking money, and
Yeah.
not in the time frame between. It was like 2 months between the disappearance and these videos popping up, right? And so part of me's, as far as like, is Western civilization gonna fall? Hopefully we have UFO technology that prevents that from happening. You know what I mean? Hopefully we are such a huge threat to the rest of the world that they're gonna do what they can. They'll keep buying those US bonds. Okay.
Yeah, as much as I love the conspiracy stuff, and it's like I don't know, the normalist in me is like, everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be normal. There's the as much as I distrust I don't even want to call it a shadow government or whatever, the government,
the Illuminati.
Yeah, as much as I distrust
everything.
As much as I distrust they, I do feel like they doesn't want society to collapse.
Right. Like, because then where are they going to be, right? Unless they got an escape plan, unless they've done something like, I don't know, create an enclave in Israel where they can go escape to.
In some underground bunkers.
Surrounded by a massive wall, and, if only we could get rid of all the hostile countries around it. Anyway.
Yeah. Gotta love the YouTubes. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
What was that guy's name again? I don't know.
Oh, Ashton Forbes with the 3 orbs.
Forbes. Yeah.
I'm
gonna check Ashton. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that guy.
I had to unfollow him because he started to switch up his content into more like debunking. Like, he was like, how dare you think anything was wrong with the Charlie Kirk assassination? He's like on that whole thing. And I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Okay.
I was here for the orbs.
Yeah, dude, I can't. I came for the space aliens.
Right. I came for, we want government disclosure about this technology. That's why I'm here. Okay. Stop. Don't try to argue with Candace Owens. I don't pay attention to her.
Yeah. I try to stay out of that as much as I watch all that stuff. I try my hardest to stop watching all that stuff, because it's just,
oh yeah,
like you want to stay informed, you want to know what's going on, but at the same time, you don't need to know all the internal drama between all the
podcasters. I don't need to know that Brigitte Macron is a man. Okay?
No,
that's not anything I need to be aware of.
It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form.
Now, do I believe it? Yeah, obviously. I mean, look the way she sits.
Look.
But that's not what my life is about. I am a comic book man. All right.
I just draw funny pictures for people.
I'm trying my best here to draw a building. You're trying to get me to because she said she was going to present photographic evidence to the courts at one point that she was indeed a woman.
Did she actually?
That's what they said. I don't know if she actually did that, but it's like, what are you just going to show them a picture of what's between your legs, or what does that mean?
That's what comes to my mind.
If you're really going to try to prove, just take a drop of blood. Very easy. Okay. We'll know. In fact,
the fact that people are wasting their time with that is
yeah, no, it's so insane. But it's like, you look at this hand, so then you get hit with this one.
Yeah. Well, fuck, eh? Building's coming along.
It's coming along. I might call this one the lines done, and then I got to decide, okay, oh shoot, I've been putting this on the wrong layer. Well, whatever.
So I know like pretty much nothing about the whole drawing process. So like,
just trying to make it look good. So like,
Like-
I think I maintained all my layers here. So like, this was like the initial sketch,
oh, okay,
right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out what I had him crouching on. It was just sort of a shape of a thing that
Yeah.
I'm like, I can make this make sense as a building somehow, right?
Almost a
Make it a
water
gargoyle
tower.
or something. Water tower. And then someone recommended Philadelphia, and that's when I went into Google Maps. I'm like, where should I have him perched? I wonder if someone who's from Philly might recognize the buildings, you know what I mean? And know exactly where he is. He's outside the mayor's house, by the way. But yeah, from there, screen it with blue. And then this one I only did twice, right? As far as like the initial sketch versus like the final line work. But
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go through like 3 times. Like it'll start real loose, and then I'll tighten it up in that next layer, and then I'll move that below the like I'll blue that layer and erase the other one.
Yeah.
And then do a final on top of that. This one I think I'm gonna keep sloppy. Like I don't feel like redoing too much about him.
I mean, I don't see what that looks pretty good as is. Like
right. And some things that I kind of messed up ended up looking okay. Like, that upper lip in the reflection. At first I look at that and I'm like, the line's too thick. But then I'm like, shadows, whatever. It ends up looking all right.
Yeah. And then the back of his head on the other side too.
Right.
Yeah, man, that's the thing I love about Cyberfrog is like his shoulders are mirrors.
Right.
It's so shiny. You got to be able to.
That's where it's like I got to think of like a rough cityscape when I'm doing the dark shapes in the reflection.
Yeah.
So I'm like just like a standard 3-building cityscape on his left arm there. Like it actually doesn't look anything like what's actually around him, but it looks cool enough.
Yeah, it gets the point gets across.
Right.
It's not a page in a comic.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
That's sweet. So it's basically just you just kind of just do a rough sketch at first and then just add more detail as you kind of just go.
Yeah, just build it up little at a time there. Come on. Of course, I make the mistake of like did I get rid of layer 16? No, that is layer 16. That what it looks like. Okay, cool.
Right.
Turn off this space heater next to me. Burning up. But yeah, man, this one, it's coming together. I like this building. I gotta add textures and things and clone some of these windows. But heck, I guess I've been going for like an hour and 45 minutes at this point.
Hell yeah, yes sir.
I'll go 15 more minutes. I'll round it off at 2 hours.
Works for me. That's usually what I go with. So
yeah,
I
gotta eat something and get to work.
Hell yeah.
Set a little timer for myself, unless my phone's elsewhere. Here we go.
Yeah, man. If you're around tomorrow, I'd fucking want to stop in. Me and my buddy, we just shoot the shit about just whatever.
Yeah, man. I work at 4:30 the next 3 days, so I'll be working till around midnight or so. I might, I'll probably be around just before and after that. I'll try to stream or whatever in the afternoon. I got to come up with an actual schedule for doing this sort of thing. And my first idea is Tuesdays at midnight. Because then I feel like I'm guaranteed. I'm getting home from work. I work 2 jobs. One job is a pub that, you know, I might be drunk when I get home from work. And the other one is not, where, you know, I'm always sober when I get home. So, yeah, Tuesdays at midnight, I think would be good.
Yeah, I work Monday to Friday is morning shift, so I'm a regular houred person.
Yeah.
Basically Saturday, Sundays, afternoons are basically my only times I got to stream. I had these last 2 weeks off, so for vacations, I'm back at it Monday.
That was great being, you know, because the holidays are really slow for my work. So, because I work, my other job's the hotel. So we might only have like 10 people staying there during Christmas time. And it's like, all right, well, I'll stay home. You guys can actually give me some days off. That'd be great. I'll get some artwork done. All right. Let's hold myself accountable and do 15 more minutes of something. So maybe I'll work on this Ninja Turtles.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's sick.
Because that's almost done, I feel like. More or less. As done as I'm ever going to want it to be, you know. Yeah. I'm not making a Ninja Turtles comic book.
Yeah, I just started kind of getting into those, the old fucking Ninja Turtles comic books. I didn't realize how cool those were.
Oh, yeah, man. I got a ton of them. Got a ton of those things. Let's add some like lines to the table. Make it look like it's made out of something.
Yeah, there's a toy store near me, and then they got like a whole room full of vintage comics.
Yeah.
So I've basically been every paycheck now. I just go in there, pick up a couple of them. Just gonna start building up the collection.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's never really read them. Like I was super into like the X-Men animated, like all the animated shows I watched as a kid and all that type of stuff. But just
that's what first got me in.
Yeah, and then I found Star Wars, and it was just Star Wars was all I was into until The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah. Oh, those movies, man.
Yeah.
That was like part of my shtick on YouTube. One of my ideas was like, call me Disney. You know what I mean? Like I could help you make good movies. You know? What was that freaking, do you remember the slow moving, the ship that Rose Tico was in, right?
Oh my God.
The whole idea about that blew my freaking mind. Because in what situation in a space battle is a slow-moving container full of bombs going to provide some sort of strategic advantage?
Yeah.
What is it for? It's like, well, it goes into position and then it drops all these bombs, and that's a lot of bombs that it's dropping. You know what I mean? So this is a cool idea, right? It's like,
oh man, yeah, that. I saw that movie once. I came out of the movie theater refusing to believe I just saw a bad Star Wars movie. Just refusing to believe it. It's like something is wrong with me. Like I'm the problem here. Like it wasn't Star Wars. Like I'm the problem. So I paid to go see it again. And it was like, it was just, you were just able to watch all the background scene stuff. And it was during the fight scene with like the fucking Rey and Kylo and all the royal guards or whatever. And in the background, dude, I just saw there's two of them just spinning around in circles. They're not even they're just spinning around in circles. And I'm
they're like the monkey that walks through the frame in that one video.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to notice them spinning around doing nothing.
Yeah, and then so again, I come out of the movie theater refusing to believe I just saw a bad Star Wars movie. And then it was the third time I got halfway through and fell asleep. And I was like, okay, these are just bad. This is just a bad movie.
Yeah.
And then that led me to Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers. And then from Jeremy, I fucking watched a video of him and Ethan putting Rose Tico action figures on a bunch of cars in like a toy, like a Walmart.
I've heard of that video.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember watching that video, and then I found Ethan, and then Ethan burned the Rose Tico doll. Or I don't remember what happened. If it was before or after, either way, I saw fucking Ethan burn the Rose Tico doll after I saw that fucking video of him and Jeremy, and I was like, just been following Ethan ever since.
Yeah. No, I saw Ethan. I'm like, Ethan Van Sciver from Green Lantern. Because I guess you would have only really noticed it, like, you saw the Rose Tico stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't,
all slipped right under my radar.
yeah.
I was watching Critical Drinker talk about She-Hulk or whatever, and like, yeah, man, I saw the writing on the wall with the prequels with Star Wars, man. Like, I don't know if we're the same age or not. I'm 40 now.
34.
Yeah. So, yeah, more or less.
Yeah, prequels were I still love those. I'm in the
yeah, you were their target demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I grew up and actually I saw even before the prequels I saw the writing on the wall, because when they re-released Star Wars in theaters, I guess I must have been like 11 or 12 years old or something, because it was like 98, 99 when they remastered everything and they put all the digital stuff in there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm never going to get rid of my Star Wars on cassette that are completely unedited, the original cut. There's no random CGI bits thrown in.
Human Jabba.
The human Jabba and the freaking, the scene where the speeder's rolling up to the traffic stop with the dudes. Like, it was such a cool scene at first, just so cool watching the thing. But now it's like, oh, there's a brontosaurus crossing in front of the screen. And, oh, this guy can't handle his tauntaun or whatever the hell.
Yeah, they had to make the barren city look like it was life-filled.
Right, they had to give life to a barren city. Come on, guys. Everyone is indoors drinking. No one, no one's wrangling their animals in the streets of Tatooine.
Like, where are you going to take that animal to? Like,
right. What kind of music do we have in this place? Well, it's just a nice, jazz band. What do we replace it with? Some screaming, ant-eating alien.
Yeah, aardvark looking.
Jesus Christ, man. That was so distracting and terrible.
And then there was me as a little kid. That was like the first experience I had to it, watching all the CGI stuff. So then it's like my brother shows me, when I'm a bit older, my brother shows me the original version. I'm like, this sucks.
This really?
Yeah. Then I get a little bit older and I get, you develop the actual like respect that you have for it, right? Because it's like
for the art form and the time period that it came to being.
It clicked in that it's like, oh, they just added that stuff in because a kid like me would have thought, oh, that looks cool. Not like,
they saw money in the streets is what they saw.
Basically.
They saw
one stage before the walkie-talkies.
Yeah. You're planning a prequel series? Well, let's re-release the originals real quick, but we're going to upgrade them with some of that sweet new technology that you guys have been cooking up. We'll just freaking... Oh, and Han's going to shoot first this time. Or no, Greedo's going to shoot first this time. Right? Instead of Han.
I never
Han
understood all
shot
that.
first. God damn it. He's a scumbag. That's the point of his character.
And it's like it's like, well, we had to change it because it makes him look like a better person. Stop. Just stop.
Cut that out.
Like,
he's a scoundrel.
And that's the whole thing. Like, he needed to shoot first because he needed to know the character of Han Solo. He was willing to shoot first.
Exactly. But then
he doesn't have Jedi mind powers to be able to move out of the way of the bullet.
Right. So I feel like even at 11 years old, I was already in like, gosh, these people don't know how to make movies anymore. Like back in the early 2000s, late 90s. And then the prequels came out and I'm like, these are so much worse. So much worse than the, what is this? I feel like I just watched Space NASCAR. How long was that NASCAR race? Was it like 30 minutes of the film? What is midichlorian? What is this Jar Jar nonsense?
Yeah. As a kid, I loved the Jar Jar stuff, and then you get older, and you're just like, I can't do this anymore. The pod racing stuff to me, though, I love. That's probably my favorite stuff of the entire prequel. Oh yeah, the pod racing. Yeah, I love the pod racing.
All the kids are like super excited, and then I'm like in the back, like they don't know how awful this is.
This stuff sucks.
This is terrible.
Because they got a new pod racing game coming out this year, and I'm so fucking excited for it.
Yeah.
It's basically like, just a racing game, but pod racers and speeders and Star Wars speeder bikes and stuff.
Well, I mean, did you ever go into any arcade back in those days and see the pod racing, like the sit down, like pod
So
racing?
yeah, I never got to, I knew about those arcades. I never got to experience those because I guess I didn't have any.
Yeah.
None of those big ones were close enough to me.
Yeah, no, those were
At
great.
least my brother got to, like, they had fucking, my brother got the Nintendo 64s and McDonald's and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, but by the time I came around, society has already gone downhill.
Downhill. None of the N64s would power on anymore.
there was just that faded spot on the table of where it used to be.
Yeah. Just let the dust collect.
Well, fuck, man. I'll let you get back to your streaming or your work
Well,
here.
Yeah, I mean, we're about 2 hours. I'll call it right now. Thanks for hanging out.
Fucking hey, man. Anytime. Fucking you
I
ever
love,
need someone else in? I'm around. I'll fucking hop in here.
Man, hell yeah.
Well,
and I don't know how to end streams, so
I think
I'll see
it's
you
up in
later.
the top corner. But yeah, you have yourself a good one.
Oh, it's that red button right up there, actually.
Yes, sir. Later.
Later.